Welcome to the Safe Space Podcast, where we get comfortable having the uncomfortable conversations.
And most importantly, talk a little mess. We are your hosts, CJ.
And I'm Manda.
Welcome to the podcast.
So how do we want to start this off?
We should talk about you and your goons running up on me at work, because that's how we met.
Well, then I have nothing for you because that is not how it happened at all.
I think you should tell the story. I think the listeners will find your version of events pretty funny.
No. Okay. So we are friends, very close friends. Some would even say besties.
Yes, we are.
Mind you, okay, just as a side note, I'm on a mission to get my bestie to tell me that she loves me at some point. She's not very cuddly.
My throat's itching. We're finished, Ro. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Y'all pray for me in this. So anyway, we met at work how many years ago?
8. I think it was 2013.
Really? I don't feel a day
We've been
over
stuck
10.
together that long.
All I remember is I told this young lady that one day she was going to love me. And she shot me the side eye. And now look at us.
Look at us on this couch doing something that we've talked about for forever.
Oh. So how do you recall it happening, since you claim that my goons, I don't have goons, by the way, ran up on you?
I would be sitting in my cubicle every single day at work, and you and your goons, I won't say their names, would walk by my cubicle every morning, overly friendly. We don't need all the friendliness. It's too early in the morning.
If somebody saying good morning to you is over friendly. See what I'm dealing with, y'all?
It was over friendly, heads in my cubicle. I had been there for like a week.
Okay, so.
And I was pregnant and didn't know it. That may have been why I didn't want all of the friendlies.
So, yeah, let's talk about that, because this nice budding young lady.
Not a budding young lady.
What?
Go ahead.
What do you want me to call you?
A spring chicken, no.
Oh, okay. So she starts work. Of course, we're very friendly, so we're saying good morning and things of that nature. And she was like good morning, but So at the time, it was myself and my other coworker friends, but they were older than Sierra and I. I'm not that much older than Sierra, but I am slightly older. So we were watching a certain pattern that
of me sweating to death as I raced to my cubicle every morning.
She would get up and like run off to the bathroom and come back all red in the cheeks. And we were like,
So to give some perspective, I think I was there for maybe like a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a doctor's appointment, just a routine doctor's appointment. And they're like, oh, by the way, congratulations, you're pregnant. And I'm like, yes, no, I just started this new job. Not congratulations. I'm very happy with my baby, but no, not congratulations. I just started this new job.
So, you know how, especially the old hens, not me, I'm talking about the other ones. They're like, so y'all know the new girl's pregnant, right? And I'm like, no. But because I'm the friendly one and I was going to make her love me, and like we would, you know how old hens are, like they would try to drop little hints and ask little questions and things.
And I wasn't going for none of it. None of it.
And so one day we finally just like peeked over the cubicle. And it wasn't me that said it. One of the old hens. And they were like, so, when does that baby due? Or something like that, they said to her.
All facts. All facts.
And now look at us.
On this couch. On this couch.
And that's how we met. And we've been friends ever since.
So I think since we started off talking about friendships, we should just kind of keep that rolling. Because obviously this was not just an overnight thing. It took some time for us to get here. So on a light note, keeping it light, we both watch Real Housewives of Potomac. And I want to talk about the Miami trip. So we're all caught up, and I don't want to be Mia's friend. I don't want to be Mia's
No.
friend. I don't think I want to be Wendy's friend. And I know it's reality TV, but the friendship dynamics are a little weird over there. Mia is very my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't want to be friends with anybody like that. Like, it's very much, you talk to her, don't talk to me.
Right.
And
even if I'm wrong, you're going to ride with me regardless.
right. So I feel like, as a friend, if you and I go out and you are dead wrong, you cuss somebody out and you're wrong, I'm probably going to be in the back hyping you up just a little bit while we're there in the moment. But once we get to the car, I'm going to tell you that you was wrong. Like,
Be like, don't do that to me ever again in life.
Exactly. But in Mia's situation, she just doesn't want to take any type of criticism from anybody. For goodness sake, she told Ashley and Candace, and not Karen, though. She made sure she excluded Karen.
Right.
That they couldn't sleep at the house if they went to go visit Wendy.
But even before that, even before they even got to Miami, like, what's the other chick's name? Jacqueline? That's supposed to be her longtime best friend.
That whole thing is weird, too.
That whole dynamic is weird. Like, I almost feel like somebody needs to investigate. Is Jacqueline, like, hired help or something? Because
I think so. I think she is.
I think she's on the payroll somewhere.
Well, she jokes about being, like, her handler and her assistant and all of that. So
that whole thing is just... And then when they were sitting on the bed in Mia's room, and she's like, "So are you and Karen, are y'all not friends anymore?" Like, what's it? I'm like, yo, are we in elementary school? What's happening?
It was very elementary school.
Very.
Like, I get, so if we want to back up to her and Wendy's thing at bar 1, can you remind me why they don't get along in the first place? Because I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't understand. Like, because there is the underlying shade. But even I was trying to think, like, when they were at the dance studio and Wendy, I guess in front of everyone, defended Mia. But then that's when she had the hot mic
and she was talking trash.
Right. So
she was the one talking a little bit mess.
Right. So not unless one of the producers, like, behind the scenes, like, tipped Mia off. Like, I really don't know where the dislike comes
I was
from.
trying to think back to, like, what their issue was, and I can't think of it. But obviously now they have a huge issue,
right,
with Peter and bar 1 and all of that. What's your thoughts on that whole thing?
So I really think that Mia came locked and loaded because she kind of, like, poked at Wendy the whole time and made that comment the comment from Peter more than what it needed to be.
I think it was a setup from the beginning, though, because when they got to Miami, obviously Candace was doing her thing, whatever she was doing. She didn't even give them a separate room. It was a setup from the beginning, I feel like. So I think any little thing that Mia could have gotten to turn on Wendy, not saying that Wendy was correct in her behavior once they got to the bar, but I think any little thing would have caused that big rift that they had.
I agree with that. Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I feel like the way that Mia was operating, because she just kept poking and poking and poking. And even if Wendy had sat there and said nothing at all, like Mia was kind of arguing with herself in the beginning.
Very much.
Like, she wasn't giving you any energy, but you were steadily getting. So, like, what? So she needed that moment
in a bunch of business that has nothing to do with you,
right?
Like, Peter's business is not your business. And yes, he made a comment to you about, "Oh, tell Wendy we got beef," but you didn't even have to relay that.
No.
And again, I get it's reality TV, so it's a little sprinkle on there for the action. Right. So I get it, but you didn't have to do all that.
The whole get up. Because even before then, they, like, got up from the table and walked away to talk to Peter.
Yes.
And who did she bring in with her to talk to Peter? I don't remember. It was somebody else that she called in.
I don't remember either.
Was it one of the Green-Eyed Bandits? I feel like. No.
I don't think so. So, speaking of, like, the Green-Eyed Bandits,
no, Charisse. Wasn't it Charisse?
No, she brought up Charisse because he was saying that Charisse also may have had a business idea or what have you, and she was saying that she put her money on Charisse.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anybody was over there when they were talking.
I thought she had
But
called some.
speaking-
No, she did, because Sharice was like, well, I'm going to walk away or something at that point, because Zamia was trying to rope him into.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I think so. But anyway, go ahead.
Speaking of the Green Eyed Bandits, I find it very funny that Giselle has this whole outlook on Mia throwing that drink at Wendy when last season or whatever season that was, she was the captain of the brigade to get Monique off the show. Because to me, it's equivalent. Like her fight with Candace and her Mia's fight with Wendy, like you tossed a drink in somebody's face. And I'd like to mention that Karen did not get wet. She did not get wet.
Karen, the Grand Dame, slid right on out that chair. You know, I aspire to be the Grand Dame when I get older.
Do you?
I think so. Maybe sometime with better driving skills. I love me some Grand Dame, okay?
Okay.
And like, yeah, she has her ish with her too, but like I'm with her 150% on this whole situation. But honey, Grand Dame slid on up out of there.
What did she do? She did the Wendy
The
slither.
Wendy slither.
She did the Wendy slither.
I was like, you better go ahead, Karen. She just slid on out that chair.
All right, so let's fast forward to last episode when Robin thought it was a great idea to pull that Bluetooth speaker out of her purse. Like, you couldn't just play it on your phone, ma'am. You couldn't just pull out your phone and play. That was messy. Not that Robin has not been anything but messy, but that was messy.
She is extremely messy. And I don't know, I'm like extra disappointed because, you know, I always had a hot, cold, love-hate relationship. And I really felt like in the beginning of this season, you know, when she she stood up for Candace and Bassett and Chris Bassett. And I was like, she really taking a stand against Giselle. I can't believe it.
Right.
Like, I was like, oh, this might actually, you know, make me change how I feel about her. But no, nope.
Any extra points she won, she lost those very quickly when she pulled that speaker out of her purse. It was very unnecessary. And then for Ashley to add on with she told me, in reference to Karen,
right,
about her dating someone or whatever that was.
I don't know what angle Ashley is playing this year. But I am with you. Like that whole, I think that back to the fight kind of thing, but I am so disgusted with how they are backing Mia and the way that they went in on Monique and all but got her kicked off the show.
Exactly.
And Mia
but Monique has moved
thing.
On and she is doing bigger and better.
Yes.
So
yes.
So very good for her. But yes, I was surprised that Giselle would take Mia's side on that. Because if someone threw a drink at her, she would have an issue. It would be a huge issue.
Right. And then how back to Robin, like and I needed to jot this down because there have been several times that she has blatantly lied and was like, I didn't say that or I didn't do that. Can we rewind the tape? Because you absolutely did.
Well, when her and Wendy, okay, so let's remind the listeners and myself, what was the origin of Robin and Wendy's issue?
You know what? I don't remember either. Because I don't even know. Because now Robin is at the point where she's just like, yeah, I just don't like her.
Because I know that Wendy and Giselle had the issue last season when Wendy was going in on her about her lack of relationships and karma and all of that. I feel like Robin got roped into that too, trying to have Giselle's back. I think that's where it started.
I was gonna say, I think the origin is the issue between Wendy and Giselle, and Robin just got roped in, or was collateral damage.
I think it's so funny when Robin was saying that nobody had to like back her down or have her sit down when her and Wendy were fighting at the pole dancing class or whatever dancing class they were doing, and it flashes back to Sharice pushing her back in her seat.
Right. Like, Robin, girl.
I don't know. I'm very, very interested, and we're going to have to talk about it in the next coming episodes because Juan is not with any of this nonsense that they got going on. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. And
Coach
Karen
Dixon said, y'all leave me up out this
right,
mess.
right. So I'm very interested to see how that plays out. I'm interested to see Karen and Sharice when they go head to head because they're going to have a confrontation, it looks like, about their relationships. I'm very interested to see.
The Grand Dame's feathers ruffled. I don't appreciate it.
I'm very, very interested to see how the rest of the season plays out. So we'll have to keep talking about it.
Are they going to be on a hiatus this week or something? I feel like because they did like the mid-season flash for it. Y'all don't do this to me. I need something to watch this weekend.
I haven't been watching anything but Potomac. And I feel like, well, I think I told you, I was watching a show called Step Up High Water with Neo. So I am caught up on that. So I may need you to watch that so we can talk about it. Because it's very good.
Okay. No, is that, but is it like a spinoff or something of the movie Step Up? Or is
Nothing
this,
to do with it.
Okay.
Nope, nothing to do with it. It's very good. So I won't go into detail now. I need you to watch it and then maybe we'll do an episode covering it.
Okay. Deal.
All right. So on a, I guess, darker note, we're going to turn it just a little bit. And just sticking with the theme of friendships. We've recently had like the unfortunate death of Shanquilla Robinson. She was a young lady who went to Mexico with friends, and I'm using my air quotes, you guys can't see me, and her best friend kind of, I don't want to say he set her up, but he lied to her mother and told her that she died of alcohol poisoning. Come to find out, there was a video floating around and there was a fight, and she ultimately ended up dying, which is very unfortunate. How do you feel about that situation, like just with friendships and going on vacations and spending that kind of time with people that you call your friends?
Right. So first, I think they all need to go to jail. All of them. Even the one that I guess he provided the receipts or whatever, that he wasn't there when the actual incident happened. But you showed up and you saw that girl was not okay. So you need to go to jail too. Now, maybe not as long or as harsh as the other ones, but all of y'all need to go to jail. I do. The one girl, I guess, that actually fought her was just arrested.
Yep, I think they extradited her back to Mexico.
Oh, did she? Is she gone? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all need to go down.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunately someone's life has to be used as like a lesson, just in friendships and watching the company that you keep, and because I can remember my grandmother and my mother, like everyone is not your friend, and at the stage of what we are in our lives, being wives, being mothers, and just anyone in general, you want to surround yourself with people who, if something were to happen, they have your back. Right. You have no question about whether or not they're going to be there for you. So for such a tragic thing to happen to somebody for no apparent reason, it doesn't look like it doesn't. I mean,
now I was listening to, I want to say Fox Soul or something. And I think that one of the commentators on there said that, I guess someone in their comments said that, you all, the world doesn't really know this young lady, what's her name? Shanquilla. I didn't want to misquote her name, mispronounce her name rather. And they said something along the lines of, apparently she wasn't an angel, which none of this is justification for killing her.
Nope.
But they said that she apparently had something to do with getting someone set up from where they're from. And whoever this guy was that she got set up.
We're going to say allegedly on all of this.
Sorry, yes. Allegedly, she had someone set up, and allegedly this guy died. And I'm supposedly one of the young ladies that was on the trip with them, or I guess maybe the one that actually fought her, found out about this while they were on the trip. And the guy that died, they're saying was her cousin. So that is supposedly one of the theories of what fueled this fight. Again, no justification for killing this young lady. But, there's no but. There's still, nope. Even with that theory being put out there, I can't.
Well, I did not see that theory, but even you saying it, I absolutely agree with you. There's no justification for. I did not watch the video. You all will come to learn. I don't watch things like that. I don't need it etched in my brain.
Right.
But I heard about the video just on other podcasts and on the radio and things like that. No. Hearing what happened in that video and not actually seeing it was kind of traumatizing.
Right.
So regardless of what type of justification you feel like you have for doing something like that, it doesn't make it right.
No.
So be careful who you call your friends.
Facts.
Surround yourself with good people.
Can I just say, and then of course we've talked about this before, like because I have a girls trip coming up. I have a girls trip coming up, I believe this summer. It's so funny that Cee J and I are kind of like we're the same person. And the fact that we're friends, it's like, how in the world did we become friends? Because we aren't, in general, I'm not a outgoing person, I guess. Like, I'm very shy and reserved. And I used to always say, and I still kind of say, like, I just don't like people. But, which sounds terrible, but it is, like, it is. But, like how you were saying your grandmother, my grandmother etched fear into us. And, like, I come from a huge family. So myself and my cousins, we grew up together. We all went to the same school together. We saw each other every day. It wasn't a once in a while thing. So, like, I never had to make outside friends. So
until you met me, you just had to have me as your friend.
See, that was the Holy Spirit. That's what that was. But so navigating friendships in adulthood, because like in school, I don't consider myself popular, but like I knew a lot of people and a lot of people knew me, and like I could have relationships or friendships one-on-one. But like when it came to the group activities and going to parties and stuff, like I always shied away from that stuff.
Right.
My grandma, I was afraid. I'm like, you don't go over people's house because
somebody's
gonna get you. Yeah. And like, Lord, did they have a man in that house? Don't you go over that house because they're gonna get you. So it's hard for me to figure out this friendship thing.
Right.
Especially as an adult. And then of course you always hear like the horror stories.
Right. Can I stop you for a second? What you saying navigating friendships as an adult, I always think of that meme that's like, adult friends. It's like, oh, I miss you. Let's schedule something for March. Like that. That is literally adulthood friendships.
Actually, I had something similar to that happen. But so I'm very nervous about this girls trip because like I'm friends with, it's a bridal party. So my friend, I'm a part of her bridal party, but I don't necessarily know her other friends. We've met on one of the activities, the bridal activities, but like the idea of going out of state with a group of women that I don't know.
Do you need me to come along with you?
Sure, please.
Do you want
like I'm not sure how that's gonna play out, but my husband already trying to figure out how he can sneak his way. And then that's another thing, like my husband is like my bestie, like we actually like each other. So the idea that I'm going, because as parents working every day, and it's hard enough to steal time away to spend time with your spouse, but going on a trip without him, I've never done that before.
Well, you may have to either take myself or him with you on this trip. Just joking. Just joking.
I was going to say, now you will get me beat up. Lord have
not
mercy.
trying to do that.
They not going to call me that stuck up bee that can't go nowhere without
a +1.
So that's something else. We'll have to stay tuned and see how
that works out
how
for
my
you.
girl's trip works out.
Yes. So if I can tell a quick story. So I had, I have, because we are back friends, but I had this friend, we were friends for like, we've been friends for like 12 years. And you're familiar with the story. We had a break in the friendship, just kind of after like getting back together and having the conversation. It was just kind of, we went our separate ways, but we didn't talk for a while. And we would,
She wasn't me. No.
we would check up on each other, just like on Facebook or Instagram or what have you, like here and there, but it wasn't the friendship that we once had. And I put my big girl pants on, and I had reached out to her just to say like, hey, like, do you want to just meet for lunch or what have you, just to like etch out like whatever this issue is that we had. And we met and we talked it out. And one of my big things, like from that meeting, not necessarily wanting to get back to where we were before, because obviously we were super young back then when we initially became friends. So both of us should have grown and matured and all of that. But just wanting to, like, there's no issue. Like, let's clear the air. Let's just, it doesn't have to be awkward and weird. And it was right after my aunt had passed away from COVID. So I think I was in my feelings and just trying to like make right, so to speak, I guess, with things. Just cliche to say, but you just never know. So in that conversation with her, I said, you know, I feel like we can sit here and we can have appetizers and have drinks and just kind of do surface. But I feel like if we are going to move forward with a friendship, we need to figure out what it was. If I did something to you to make you not want to talk to me, I feel like you should let me know that, and vice versa. We can't move forward as friends if I don't know what the issue was, because if I do it again, it won't be intentional, but we're going to land back in that same space.
Right.
But we did hash it out. We are friends now. But I feel like just in maturity and just navigating that adult friendship, I don't think that if we would have attempted to have that conversation, like when we first stopped talking, I don't think that we would have gotten to this place now.
Right.
But just in maturity and being able to have transparent conversations, be honest, dare I say emotion, let our emotion show. And oh, stop it.
What?
I'm telling my story. Let our emotions show.
Let them use you.
We are in a much better place. So if you have someone that you haven't talked to in a while, reach out to them. It doesn't always have to go bad. It can, but again, you don't go into it with expectations.
Right.
Like, I wanted to kind of clear the air, but it worked out in, I guess, our favor. And like I said, we're friends now, and it's all good.
Right. So is this you saying that you want to tell me that you love me?
No. Mr. Producer Man, can you go and get the Benadryl? No, it is not. It is not me saying that. Oh. It's not.
Okay.
You can stop staring at me like that.
Okay. I'll look away.
What else do we have on the docket for today?
What else are we supposed to talk about? So let me ask you this then. Yes. Is every friendship worth having that conversation?
No. I am a firm believer that everyone that comes into your life is there for, what is it, a reason, season, or that whole spiel that I don't know all the words to. I feel like that. I feel like you have, just in any relationship, not just friendships, if someone's not serving you, you're not serving them, you're not making each other happy, it's always drama, they're only calling you when you need something, let it go. You don't need that. Especially, again, in the space that we are in our lives, the things that we're trying to do, you don't need that. Let it go. But if it's someone that you value, that, and if there's truly no issue, you just kind of went your separate ways. And again, you don't have to get back to the place that you were originally, but just to know that they're okay, I'm okay, we've talked it out, but we're cool, we're just not where we were before. Right. That's okay. But no. And again, not just in friendships, in any relationship, it's your daddy and y'all got an issue. Try to talk it out. And sometimes those conversations won't go that way. And that's okay. If nothing else, and kind of going back to my situation, reaching out for me in that manner is not even something that I would even do.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was, if nothing else, I can't say I didn't attempt to. I can't say I didn't try.
Right.
So no, I don't think that every relationship is worth salvaging, and I don't think that every relationship should like continue on with you as you grow. There are some people that you'll have to kind of drop off as you elevate because they're just not on your level, and not in a bad way. They're just not where you need them to be. Don't need any dead weight holding you down.
This is true. So if you've decided that you no longer, it sounds so elementary, you no longer want to be friends, or like that person no longer serves you, like,
do you have a conversation?
Right. Does there have to be a button put on every relationship, or do you just let it fizzle out and let it be what it is?
I think again that just goes back to what that person means to you, and depending on why you don't want to continue that relationship. I mean, if somebody is, I'll give an example. If I'm always having something, let's say parties at my house, or I'm always inviting you to stuff and you don't show up to anything, and you have things and I show up for you each and every time, I think that deserves a conversation.
Yes.
So that that person knows, like, they know how you feel. And if those feelings aren't acknowledged and your next baby shower, they don't show up after you've had this conversation, that may be, all right, I'm gonna wash my hands with that situation.
Right.
I think it just depends on like what the situation is and why you no longer feel you need that relationship.
Right. I agree with that. I think for myself though, like I have a issue with
confrontation.
I guess. You think I have issues with confrontation?
Maybe.
I don't have confrontation. Look, I don't have confrontation because everybody loves me.
So you say. That's been the theme going on here. So you say.
Or maybe they don't, and that's the problem. No. But like because I don't think it has to be not everybody's gonna like you, not everybody's gonna love you. Like we know that. But I think I have the nice girl complex, and
you do.
Like
this is me being a real friend and telling you that you do.
Like I realize that a lot of time, and for a very long time, like I've been too nice to a lot of people. And I have always been that I'm the strong friend, and everybody comes to me for me to pour into them. But I don't have
pouring into you.
Yes, my good friend Cee J, and that's why I love her.
She's gonna try to get it out of me, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
But this is, I am such a complex person. The more that I'm trying to talk about myself and trying to figure myself out, because in general, like I too am not the fuzzy. I'm really not the fuzzy, touchy feely, huggy, love me.
I have
love
that
you.
effect on people.
Oh, okay. But I get in these moods where I need love and affection and stuff, but in general, like no. And like I said, I don't like people, so it's okay. But I have been the one that everybody comes to for advice. For everybody, this is wrong, that is wrong. My phone only rings when someone wants something. So
that's not me, folks.
No, that's not Cee J. So I too had a similar situation where there was a very close friend, very, like, even I'll just say we now live in the same neighborhood, and we were co-workers, and we lived in the same neighborhood, and that whole thing. We went from talking daily, several times a day. Her mom was passing. I got a call. I was there at the hospital. That everything. And then I went through a similar situation with my mom. And we talked, you know, she offered help and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden, crickets. Like, barely will even wave. Um, and I can't figure out why. And I know that, I feel like, okay, she's the last like very surfacey conversations that we had. Oh, I'm happy. I'm in a good place. I'm living life. Life is great. So it's like, okay, so you're happy now and life is great. So you no longer need me. So I'm not even worth a hello or, and if the friendship is over, that's fine. Cause I understand, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you no longer need me. You're happy. But at the same time, and I'm not pining for the friendship. Like it is what it is. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, I think that it was more draining on me than anything. But there is still part of me that like wants to know, like, what happened? What happened? Was I not good enough for you complex or something?
If you knew what I was thinking in my head right now, I can't say it, but I don't think that
You can say it. This is a safe space.
it
This is the safe space.
It is. You don't need that friendship. She showed who she was, and I would let it go. Those are not the words that I'm using, but I would let it go. I mean, if someone, and there's no apparent issue, at least not on your end.
Right. But see, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm also, like I said, I'm fine. I'm not pining for the relationship or anything like that. But, like, if I, in fact, did do something, I don't.
Let me know.
Right. Let me know. Like,
No,
I can't for the life of me fathom that I did anything wrong. But
that's a mature person talking. Clearly, if you can just stop talking to someone, and I'm well aware there may be situations where you just stop talking to someone, just depending on the scenario. But, and I know who this person is that you're talking about. So I know the friendship that you all had. So for her to just up and stop talking to you, you literally live very close to each other. For like you to cross paths and for her to act as if she doesn't know you, that's a maturity issue. That's a her issue. That's not a you issue. That's her. And leave her where she is.
okay. I respect it.
Leave her where she is.
Right. I just, like, yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think some of your, I guess, requirements, I don't know if that's a weird word to use, but what are like some of your like requirements in a friendship?
So requirements. Again, this is, I think, new for me because I think I am, after the year and some change that I've been through, you all will learn soon enough, I suppose. I am evolving into a different person, and previously I didn't require anything. Like my, I guess, previous requirement was that just allow me to be there for you. But
okay, so let's rephrase the question. You and I we're besties. We are very good friends. We're
besties, and what?
Okay, you're not gonna trick me.
Oh,
not gonna trick me. So because we've been friends for so long, what do you think works in this friendship?
Because we're the same person.
That is very true.
So we can understand each other. Like, again, I'm not the let's go out and club friend every weekend.
So I'm going to pause you for a second. I think that's a very good point because I feel like there are different friends for different things.
Mm-hmm.
So I also am not the let's go out and club. But if I wanted to, I would not call you. Like if I wanted to be like, oh, I want to go and check out this new place, I'm not going to call you to do that. I know that your answer is going to be a hard no. So I'm not going to call you. I may call one of my other friends or like my sister. Not saying that she's a clubber, but there's different friends for different things. But go ahead.
Right. But I think that works. And because we can understand that from one another and we can respect that, I think that is a major requirement, to respect one another and and
your boundaries and what you're okay with doing. Okay. So let me back up. Let me rewind it. So, and obviously not to give too much information, that friend that I was talking about that we kind of separated, and that was one of her, I guess, issues, was that back then she was going to clubs and things like that. That's not me. That's never been me. And of course, I thought, and it was naive of me to think that, oh, well, she's my friend, she would understand that that's not who I am, and if I'm not coming, it's because it's not something I'm comfortable with doing. But again, being younger, that mindset was different. And no offense to her, and because we've both grown and matured and all of that good stuff, but that was a part, like, and I don't want to say she didn't respect me, but
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, because actually I've been told the same thing, like, well, I invite you to one thing, and if you don't come to that, then that's just it.
But that's not how it should go. Like,
right.
Just because you and I are friends, and I don't want to get too far away from like the original, but just because you and I are friends doesn't mean, well, for you and I, it means that we do the same things, but it doesn't mean that you have to do the same things or you have to like the same things. That's a part of what makes friendship unique.
Right.
And it work, that opposites attract type of thing. So, yeah, but go ahead, back to your point.
I forgot what I was saying, but no, I respect is one of the requirements, and honesty. Like, I value honesty so much. Like, and like, the good grand dame. Like, don't hurt my feelings, or don't, cuss me out, but don't also, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Right. Don't be a Mia.
Right.
Don't be a Mia.
Right. Be honest to say, hey, look, like, I wasn't going to say nothing in front of the whole room, but girl.
Right.
Like, get your ish together.
Exactly. No, I agree. Those are, I think, the two top things that would be on my, surprise. That would be the two top things on my list as well. Just like that mutual respect. And as you guys will come to learn, like, we both have complex lives in a way. Just having a new baby. I may not be able to do or go or any of that, like to do some of the things that you are just up and able to do. Not saying you in particular, but a friend is up and just able to do. That doesn't work that way for me. So being able to respect my space, my time, and my requirements in certain aspects, like, just a stupid example, but like, don't call me 30 minutes before you want me to meet you someplace. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work in any scenario for me.
Right.
Like, respect my time and what I have going on and my family as well as I would do for you.
Understood.
Yeah.
So I have another question, although maybe we might save this for another podcast, because I was going to say, like, how does friendships play out? Is that weird to say? Like, couples friendships? Like, that sounds weird. Like, don't make that face. She's making a face at me. But yeah, we'll talk about it another time.
Yeah, let's table that. And we're going to have an off mic chat about what it is that you're trying to say.
I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
And
like,
then we'll get back to it.
If you, like, we're both married, but like, as a married person, like, is it better to have married couple friends, single friends, like that?
I'll give a quick answer on that, and then let's take it to the next.
Yes.
I believe strongly that married women should have at least one married friend. You can't be hanging out with Keisha and Taronda that are single and you're married. Like, you just can't
Keisha
do that.
and Taronda, though.
Just names. No offense to anybody named Keisha and Taronda.
Y'all dig on Tarondas.
But I think let's get into that next episode.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I agree.
So I think that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed, and we want you to meet us back every single Monday for another episode of the Safe Space Podcast with Cee J
and Manda.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.